All of humanity is on a continuum. And every society is simply at a different stage with regard to issues like equality of women and men and violence. And things are not so foreign. So for example, the story of Sleeping Beauty, all right? That's a European-American fairy tale. That is a story of a young girl who was promised at birth to marry a man, not of her choice. She was then secluded until she was 16 years old, not to speak to or talk to anyone. She happened to get out and saw this handsome guy, prince in the forest, fell in love, wanted to marry him, but then was told by the people taking care of her, who happened to be fairies, that she couldn't because she was promised to marry a man when she was 1 year old. And when she was 16, she would be returned to her family and she would have to marry this man. And it was a matter of honor for the whole family and she had no choice. And she said, yes, okay, I understand the importance of this, I'll do it. Now, it just so happened that the guy she was going to marry happened to be the handsome prince that was in the forest. But it could have completely gone the other way, right? Those are our clients. It's not so foreign. In the United States in the 1960s, it was a complete defense to murder if a man killed his wife, that he had been dishonored by her. If he had found her in bed with another man and killed her in the United States, that act, that scenario, if he'd killed her in that scenario, he could have claimed defense to murder because he had been so outraged by that dishonor. These are not foreign concepts so much. And I think it's very easily, particularly for Americans, to kind of say, that's barbaric, people like that, do things like that over there. You know, around in the Dark Ages in Europe, we had chastity belts. Chastity belts are not that much different from female genital mutilation. I'm just saying.
You really are. And I mean, I guess, and I mean, obviously I opened this up because I'm curious and because to some extent there's a lot about what the world that you traverse that I'm actually unfamiliar with. And being freaked out is kind of part of being aware, and that's really part of the journey that a lot of people that are watching and paying attention to our blog actually are into.
And we are truly unaware of so much of what is going on. And I think that a lot of the issues, and I am always surprised, you know, having done this for a long time, I think I've seen everything, and I think I've heard everything, and then I hear about something new. My point in raising these is, I think unfortunately, particularly with this kind of work, it's easy for people to otherize people and to say, I can't relate to you, or I can't relate to that. And while it's true that maybe you and I can't personally relate to it, it is not true that our culture and our community can't relate to it, because it's there, and it may have been there more 100 years ago, right? Even these fairy tales of Sleeping Beauty, those are like hundreds of year old fairy tales. We don't do that to girls anymore, but we did. We did. And so these things are not so foreign. Forced marriage. I grew up in the South. There's a term called shotgun wedding. What do you think that is? Yep. These things are not so foreign.
You ain't lying.